What's going on, team, and welcome back along to some more Rugby Challenge 4 news here on your home of rugby. There's some big news coming out in the last few days about the future and release, the disc release, physical release of Rugby Challenge 4, and it's all coming out on their Facebook page. And of course, if you're tuned in to the Wicked Sports website, you can find that information there on their forum as well. So today, we're going to even look through when it's coming out, what you can look forward to, and of course the updates that will be coming with it as well. Based on where you are in the world, it's going to come down to whether you can get your hands on a copy of this game very soon or not. So let's get straight into it. Rugby Challenge 4 coming your way very soon. Hopefully that is the case. Okay, so the guys at Rugby Challenge 4 have made it pretty clear over the last few years that their Facebook page is the best place to get up-to-date information on the game and what is happening with it as well. About a week ago, they announced that Rugby Challenge 4 will be out in Australia and New Zealand on December the 3rd for PS4, Xbox One, and the Nintendo Switch. Now, this is not the first time that they have announced physical disc release, so it's kind of something you have to take with a pinch of salt. That's why I've not been too rushed to make this video on this actually happening. They had a release date for late November. That went by. They had one before that as well. That went by with delays. So it's kind of a thing, is this actually going to happen? It's been about a week, like I said, since they announced this, and it now currently, as I record this, is about 5 days away from that actual date. So nothing's changed yet, and hopefully in the time before I record this and it goes out to you guys, that will indeed be the case, that you can go out, if you are in Australia or New Zealand, to your stores on the 3rd and grab yourself a copy of the retail solid physical disc version. So there's been some bad news to go with that as well. There's been delays in other regions due to that pesky damn COVID garbage that's been going on around the world. So there's more news to come of that in the future, as they say, and the PC release is coming very soon. You know, a month, a year, who knows? Who really knows? But that obviously is the ultimate that we want to see, the PC release. Now, while we're on the talk of PC release, for those of you who are on Steam, it is on Steam. So for PC gamers, Steam is the place, obviously, you know, one of the places anyway, to get the games and where all the, you know, latest and greatest things are, that you can see how close they are. Now, currently it is on there. It is saying coming soon. This item is not yet available. There's no date. There's no time. There's no indication as to when that will be, but it is on the Steam store. So that is always a positive start. You can even vote for it as your Game of the Year award. So, you know, if you're really desperate and want to make a statement, you could do that, I guess. But otherwise, it's on there. It's there. It's positive. It's a good start. And it's on Steam, which is really hurdle number one, I guess, of getting the game on PC. So finally, on the Facebook page, it does say the digital versions for all consoles will also get the update. So the update, you ask, that is what we're going to talk about mainly here on this short little video. So they're going to get the update to the full game at the same time. So obviously, if you brought the game digitally before release, obviously if you've got it now, that is still the beta stage of the game. So that is where, technically it's not fully released yet. So it's still got fixes, it's still got changes, it's still not the full game quality. Have we ever seen a Rugby Challenge with full game quality yet is the big question. But ultimately, there is a number of changes. Now you can see on the page here, they've put about 6 or 7 changes there that you can see. But where you really want to go to see the changes is here. So this is the Wicked Sports website. So wickedsports.com.au. You can go there and really just pretty much go to the Rugby Challenge 4 part of the forum. And there's lots of people talking about the game. But most importantly, there is a lot of people looking at this, and there's a better and bigger list of all the changes that you're going to get with Rugby Challenge 4 when it does, hopefully, physically release in a few days' time. So here is the full release. We'll go through what these are going to do and what they've changed in the game for this full release. There's a couple of decent little ones as well. So let's see what we have got that is going to be added when it comes out. The list. Here is the list. New team edition of the New South Wales Waratahs. Okay, we knew about that. We knew it was coming. We didn't know when it was going to happen. So that is going to be added in when that full disc edition goes out. New ability to edit star players, attributes, and accessories. So if you've been accustomed to playing Rugby Challenge games in the past, if you had a superstar player, Bowden Barrett, for example, a star player, pretty much licensed guys that are bigger than the game almost. Those guys you couldn't change, so you couldn't give Bowden Barrett a headgear or something silly like that, even though in real life they change what they do look like. So now you can actually edit those guys. You don't need to go to the fan hub and just download a different version of them. You can edit them as well, so that is always great to see. Third thing, kits can now be uploaded to the fan hub along with your team. So I presume this just means if you assign a team like our Leicester Tigers with Nathan Nichols to have the Crusaders kit, that's how they're going to come across when you download that team. They've adjusted the height of the default sideline camera. Any of you guys use the sideline camera? It's nice to have that ability there, but I think we're all used to the old backwards thing. Let me know what you think about the cameras as well, because that's always an interesting thing. A lot of you guys like the sideline camera, but it just doesn't seem to be right. Maybe we'll re-look at that when that full release version does come out. Decrease the chance of forward passes. Yep. Again, that's happening a lot. I mean, how many games do you play where there is 4, 5, 6 forward passes in a 5 or 10 minute game? Passes are more successful to your closest supported player or support player. So obviously, big pass, more risk of dropping it. Short pass, less risk of dropping it. That is common sense, I guess. Lessen the distance of the skip long pass to be more realistic. That I like. Yep, we always see these big passes, especially worse when you're in a tackle. And, you know, sure, a little offload, that's fine. You know, a guy a metre or two away. But when you just fire out an absolute rocket that goes 40 metres across the park to the winger when you're on the right-hand side, they're on the far left touchline, very unrealistic. So that is nice. I like that. Hopefully we'll just see if they do try that stuff, it's a mess and it's chaos. Hopefully we see more realistic sort of things with those passes. Pod formations have been brought back slightly to allow more of a lead-up. So I guess a lead up as in lead up to hitting your rucks, so with your pod formations. So they've brought back slightly. 100% what that means, we'll see as the game progresses as well. On to the next one, adjusted weather time of day code to now act based off what the user selects. That's interesting. Not something I've noticed, but in these forums, there is quite a bit of talk about how when you start the game and it says, you know, nighttime rainy, doesn't always come through what the game actually plays out. So that's a really interesting sort of bug that the game does have. Change the opposition team's reaction to spammed ground grubber kicks. Okay, so reaction as into how they play and react to too many. Oh, I see. I think I know what this means. So this is like what you do when you put a little grubber in your own 22 and you grubber it again and you grubber it again and you grubber it again, and then hello, you're in their try line scoring a try. Reaction, what the AI is going to do is shut that down, I do predict, or I guess react to it a bit better than they currently do. They've increased the whitelist of player names seen as offensive language. That's great, because when you've got a lot of names in any sort of culture that have that sort of spelling that can be conceived as offensive language, it does make it hard to actually try and get those names right. That's where we say thank goodness for the PC release, because that you can just edit them outside of the game and fix all those little problems in the game as well. A big one here, they have added the Scg Stadium in Australia, so the Sydney Cricket Ground will be another stadium you can play on. Support for up to 8 consoles and online for PS4 and Xbox One. So there we go, some more online gaming that we just haven't really seen in this game so far. Hopefully it is good. Improved stability in online matches. Goes hand in hand as well. Adjusted mnemonic names for Griquas, TLG, Pumas. Oh, okay, so they've changed the short name, as they call it, for Griquas to TLG and for the Pumas to PUM. So, okay, that's a little, I guess, a little graphical sort of thing that makes it a bit nicer, a bit more realistic. Moving on, improved stability with custom competition functionality, improved disconnect and reconnection of controller stability, French competition branding changes. Okay, that's interesting. That is interesting, because what is it going to change to? So that's what I'm going to be, I'm going to like to see what that does as well. Auto-save feature implemented on competitions, career and Beer Pro modes. Okay. And connection meter implemented into online modes. Improved online performance and improved Switch performance as well. Okay, there's a lot to process there as well. And I did see, where did I see that on here? Other things here that weren't on that is this one. New Zealand Cup now available on Beer Pro. So I did not see that in the big list on the forum. So that's why it's good to actually look at both. Hopefully that is actually one that is going to be included. New Zealand Cup now part of Beer Pro. Hopefully you don't have to start again Maybe Nathan could go there, to the New Zealand Cup, Mitre 10 Cup later on in his career. But that is a bit of a breakdown of all the new changes, all the new implications on Rugby Challenge 4 for the physical release December the 3rd. Hopefully you can get out there and get your hands on a copy in Australia and New Zealand. And for the rest of the world, sadly, the delay hopefully won't be too long for you guys over there in the Northern Hemisphere, in the Americas, and in that sort of places all around the globe. Rugby is an international game. It's a global game. Hopefully everyone can get their hands on a copy very, very soon as well. Hopefully it'll be even nicer if we could throw some copies out some places way in the post. Why can't they post games out to people? Send them from Australia, send them to England, send them to France, send them to Wales, send them to Brazil. Why can't we just send them in the mail? Buy it online, send it in the post. Hopefully you guys can all get yourselves a copy. That is me done for today. What do you think of the changes? What do you think of the additions to the game? We'll have a look at them physically when they come out in about a week's time and see just how much better this game plays. That is it from me today, though. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below on this changes, and of course hopefully the fact that we do get physical release. And I'll see you all next time for plenty more from Rugby Challenge 4. We've got more from Nathan Nichols, of course. We've got real games from the Tri Nations coming your way as well. But until we speak again, thanks for watching and take care.